Hi, it's me and Jack here. I'm going to be doing a video that's a theory of the archetypes in the major arcana and how I view court cards as preliminary energies that represent characteristics that would be that would contrast with one another, that are meant to be resolved, meant to be balanced out between those, say, extremes or polars. And then, so it's that challenge of opposition that leads us to a space of growth, expansion, and ascension, right? So I'm going to be doing this video on feminine energy, and speaking on feminine energy as internal energy. You know, this is not exclusively for females or female identified. Feminine energy is something that we all have. We have masculine energy, we have feminine energy, and I believe that, you know, as people, we are complex and beautiful, unique configurations of energies that are shared among all of us. So the first of the divine feminine archetypes that I'm going to talk about in the major arcana are the High Priestess and the Empress. To me, the High Priestess represents an ascended functioning system, functioning in the way that we process information, information that is external to us, as well as the information that is internal. So the High Priestess, as an archetype, represents divine knowledge, sacred wisdom, intuition. She represents resolved duality and kind of the audacity of autonomy while also being linked within a unity consciousness. Okay, deep inner knowing and knowing one's truth and standing in one's own truth. The Empress, to me, represents resolved value. So she teaches virtues of love, patience, nurturing, and that a life of abundance and growth and prosperity comes first from the resolved issue within of self-worth, self-love, and self-value. So to segue right into how I feel the court cards represent characteristics that would be contrasting one another, or say like pre-cards, the pre-Empress cards to me are the Queen of Pentacles, that's earth energy, and the Queen of Wands, that's fire energy. Put that down. So the Queen of Pentacles represents tradition and structure. She's consistent, she's loyal, she builds and she sustains. And the Queen of Wands is more, her expression is more confident and charismatic, expressive, impulsive. Her energy ignites, it energizes, it arouses, it explores, it invigorates. So how they would learn from one another, or how these energies get balanced out, would be that, like, the Queen of Pentacles is able to experience, you know, the fruits of her labor, of having sustainability, structure, stability, her loyalty and groundedness, all of those qualities, all of those wonderful, beautiful qualities are not given at the expense of her having the room to get to express or experience her Queen of Wands side. You know, having the space to enjoy pleasures of experience, or the pleasures of her own passions or expressions. And then the Queen of Wands would learn from the Queen of Pentacles how to apply more structure and consistency, kind of like tame the fire, you know, focus the energy, tame the fire, to be able to create or enhance sustainability, you know, sustainability or prosperity, you know, she's not just giving. That with applied to a structure, she will be able to actually grow something. So then those two resolved is the Empress. The Empress is both, you know, passionate and expressive and loving, giving, but also giving appropriately and also receiving graciously. You know, she teaches divine lessons of growth and abundance. Okay, and again, if this is internal energy, it's about the experience of abundance, and that begins within, and it begins within with self-value. I do want to say that the divine archetypes are there to guide us. You know, we don't become an empress necessarily. Like, we're always human, and we're always some mixture on the gradient of energies. We look at divine feminine energies or divine energies to guide us. We seek them, you know, to guide us to be able to learn these lessons. We are continuously aspiring to be more like these energies, to aspiring to embody these energies. So in kind of a similar pattern, we'll talk about the High Priestess. And to me, the High Priestess is about our internal processing, and having a higher wisdom of our own truth. You know, it's like a direct connect with the higher self, and being able to understand one's autonomy within a unity consciousness. Right, Jack? So the court cards that represent her preliminary energy, to me, the characteristics that are at odds in our, say, functioning, our processing systems, would be the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. So as processing systems, the Queen of Swords is thought-based, so she's of the head. And then the Queen of Cups is feel-based, so she's of the heart. That's where they process information, or how they process information. The Queen of Swords has a personality that can be considered sharp, assertive, tough, and a Queen of Cups has a personality that's more sensitive or nurturing, soft. The Queen of Swords has tools of like logic and facts and say lived experience. And the Queen of Cups, her tools are her feelings, her emotions, her desires, her intuition. Where they can learn from one another. Now I do want to say real quick, I believe that they both represent sides of our intuition, and they both represent learned experience, because it's the natural way of how we develop our functioning systems. Okay? But that's wherein that they learn from one another. So the Queen of Swords, to resolve, what she can learn from a Queen of Cups is to value her emotions as like as a credible source for information, you know, to not just blow off her emotions, that they are credible like informants that she can look at as intelligently as she wants to. It does matter that she gives herself space to experience her emotions and to trust them and to love herself for them also. It can also help, she can also help her learn how to be gentler to others, but also to be gentler to herself, because a Queen of Swords has a tendency to be her own worst critic. The Queen of Cups learns from the Queen of Swords to be more assertive, to have more discernment, deciphering things in the emotions. Like when we come to emotions that are, is this real or imagined? And also it helps, the Queen of Swords helps the Queen of Cups understand how to create and set boundaries and to stand strong in those boundaries, So when these two resolve, the Queen of Swords will have this newfound emotional empowerment that will lead her to more like pleasurable, say, interactions with others, but also with how she behaves with herself. And then the Queen of Swords will learn setting boundaries with others, and also setting boundaries with herself emotionally, say knowing when to cut it off and knowing how to look at the emotions with more discernment. And so the High Priestess is the totally ascended functioning system. Okay? We look to the High Priestess as a guide to remind us of the duality that is within all of us, and that it's a duality that we are responsible for resolving, and then we are also responsible for standing in our truth. Okay. So there's one more card from the Major Arcana that I want to bring up at this time, and I call it the Lesson card. And it's the Lovers. Not to romanticize it, with a name like the Lovers, we often pin it to a romantic. But it's larger than that. It's bigger than that. It's a divinely guided union to meet what is called your sacred mirror. And the lesson about the sacred mirror is that it is not a mirror that replicates or reflects back to you like a replication of you. It's a mirror that you view and learn and grow and expand through by viewing contrast. And viewing that contrast and then understanding a side of yourself in a deeper, more meaningful way, because you see yourself in the contrast of what would otherwise be considered your opposite. So, as suggested by the angel up top, when you meet your mirror, it is divinely guided for you to be able to reveal more truth about yourself. And when you find that truth, you have an opportunity. And that opportunity, because of course it's free will, right? Good luck out there. But you have this opportunity to learn and expand and integrate energetically. And then that brings us closer to divine truth and exist within a unity consciousness. So the other option then, along with the free will, the opportunity that you have, you can learn from the contrast and exist in unity consciousness. Or you can view the duality, perpetuate the divisiveness, and refuse to acknowledge that that duality exists within you. Fair warning, if you do that, you are only going to attract that mirror. That's probably a difficult mirror, but you're probably going to attract that mirror into your life over and over again until you learn the lesson. So there's that. But that is the overview of my theory of the feminine archetypes. Feminine archetypes are internal energy, how we process information, exterior and externally and internally information, how we process it, and how we value ourselves. And that's an internal function that becomes reflected externally. These wonderful divine feminine energies. Okay, I hope you liked my talk. Sorry it was choppy. I had several interruptions. Don't be shy. Drop me a comment if anything stuck out to you, if you liked anything, and stay tuned because I'm going to make another video on the masculine energy. Okay, bye.